And now we're going to get our pencil out again and pull out some little marks. Very, very light, holding it at the end, and I'm hardly pressing at all. It's just a very delicate detail. And where there's wet paint, we know that we can drag that through. Just adding a little blob of green there. The same here, just so I can pull out the wet paint. So now let's go back in with our second green mix. And if you're using your Cotman set, you could actually use Viridian for this. So we'll just continue to press our brush into the page, just adding water, blotting. And slowing down. And doesn't this suddenly just come to life with this green? And that's because we're using a palette where we are mixing some of the main colours that we're using together, and that's what creates this harmony in a palette. So we have the blue petals, and we also have Indanthrone blue with the green gold to create this lovely cool green. So they all marry up together. Dropping in some water in places. Keeping an eye on where I already have leaves. We're slowing down a lot now, just considering where we want to place these. A little bit of a dry brush there. I would say I'm not a cold green lover really, but using a warm and cool green is such a great technique to bring complexity to your paintings. It's such a lovely addition to what we've already got going on with all the transparent shapes. I'm just adding a little bit more blue. Just in places, and this is a mix between the blue and the Viridian. I quite like the fact that not everything is placed, and there are little kind of gaps of white here and there. I'm keeping this blue fairly translucent, just adding little pops of colour now. So a little bit more of the quinacridone lilac, and I'm just dragging my brush for these marks. A few more pops of green gold. So what I'm doing here is just using the tip of the brush and moving it sideways. And where I've placed these extra areas of paint, I can now go back in with my pencil, drag out the paint, and allow the pencil to act as a stylus. So you can see I'm moving a lot more slowly now, just looking around and seeing where these little pockets of watery paint are. And oh, I love the little stem, that's nice. Might do a few more of those. I'll do one here. These little details feel like nothing when you're doing them, but when you look at it as a whole, you can see how all these little elements come together like a beautiful song. Oh, I like that little leaf. And that one is such a fun thing to do. I love making marks with pencil. It's a lot gentler than going in with a dip pen or a Pigma Micron, and this way we can utilise the little wet areas, and the pencil carves in a little furrow. I like this pink area, but it's a little amorphous and not got much shape, so just dragging the paint down into a rough kind of leaf shape. It's a very contemplative time, I think, when we get to this stage. Let's do a finishing touch here of some splattering, and I've just grabbed a brush which happens to be a size 0 mop, but any soft brush smaller than the one that we've been using. And I'm going to mix some of the lilac with the indanthrone blue, although all these colours have now mixed together quite a lot. Make sure you have no drips on the brush, and we'll just splatter in some colour. Now we need to be quite reserved because I want to do another set of splashes. So we're going to recreate what we did in our practice run and get some white, and this could be watercolour, it could be Chinese white from your Cotman set, or gouache. I'm using gouache just because it was the closest to hand. We just want to add some water to that. It's still quite thick, so I would say 80% white, 20 water. And then we're just going to splatter this in to the page. And it usually has some sort of surprising effect with the wet watercolour, as we found out in the practice run. Because gouache and watercolour do react in a magical way. I think that's another class perhaps. But look how it's mixing with the wet watercolour. I love it. And there we have it, our finished painting.